Bruce Lee, giving you double vision, no fear, no mercy, gloves off, try and hurt me, you can't hurt me, you can't hurt me, you can't hurt me. Sweep the leg!
Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a good Saturday. It's Saturday morning. It's time for the Smack Attack. It's time to talk. It's time to talk the go-home show to Saturday night's main event, which is tonight. Bringing back a classic. So we're going to talk all kinds of fun stuff today. So let's do it. And Jimmy, of course, is Jimmying. He's got stuff and things, but he'll be here. So for now, you get me. So that is what it is. I know it's not Jimmy and his myriad band of friends, but it is what it is. So I hope you're having a good morning. It's good to see you. Good to see everybody here. Good morning to Cold Blooded. And so for two, I'm just trying. You did it twice. So it's this morning, friends. Rumor has it that all the drones flying everywhere are controlled by Jimmy T as he helps look for who has attacked Jade and everyone backstage. So you did that twice in 2 minutes. Cool. Maybe he is AI and loves Jade. So Revamped says Scott, good to see you. Scott. Morning, Gruss. Good to see you. Maybe. Scott says thoughts on Tessa Big Slur Blanchard return to TNA. Thank you, Cold Blooded. You're so sweet. Right. AI thumbnails. Look, Tessa. It's an interesting thing, right? To bring her back. It's one of those things where, I know she's been in Mexico this whole time. And I guess, Scott, my question is, at what point, if they've shown remorse, if they've behaved appropriately, do you continue to do so? Now, some would argue that her apology wasn't a good apology. I don't know. Look, I haven't heard hide nor hair of Tessa Blanchard since the incident a while back and everything that went on. So, honestly, it was out of sight, out of mind, right? And I see people saying, "Hey, this is great, good, glad to be back, way to go." And look, it's TNA. Right? It's not like she signed a long-term contract. They have very little long-term contracts. You have someone like Jordan Grace, who you need to fight against. Tessa Blanchard looks like $1 million, is solid in the ring. I haven't heard her promo skills. Those were a little, So, and Anthem is a big company, and I would think that they would know what they were doing if they think, it's worth to sign her. I don't know. Okay. And Revamp says this. I love Tessa. She apologized to Rosa, doesn't owe apology to anyone else, Chelsea. She deserves a second chance that is coming from Hispanic South African. Okay. First of all, Revamped, quite a combination of Hispanic / South African. Very cool combination there. I don't know why Chelsea would need an apology. I don't know the story behind that one. And Rosa, are you talking about Thunder Rosa? Because if she had to apologize to Thunder Rosa is kind of a bitch. And I'm saying that as having heard from talk to people here in the Texas independent scene, how, that's the case. But I think everyone deserves a second chance, especially if they have apologized. The person who was offended accepts the apology. They've done their part to be a better person and go forward. Yeah, everyone deserves a second chance. Aaron Big Slow-Mo, good morning. He says Tessa looked good, but she attacked the wrong person in his opinion. Oh, okay. I'm not super up with everything because, wrestling news and stuff. Rosa Negra is the person she insulted and they are friends. Okay, cool. Well, hey, look, if that's the case and everything's fine and they apologize, they're friends and she's done her part to be a good person, then yeah, fine, go back. Let TNA be the one to put the balloon out there and let her do her thing, come back and see how it goes. Maybe this is a floater for Triple H and WWE to see how she's perceived in public and the response, and then because we know that there's a two-way street between TNA and NXT. So and look, let's be honest. If nothing else, this gets people talking about TNA wrestling, right? I mean, TNA is being talked about because they've hired Tessa Blanchard for a program. I mean, look at it, right? Scott says he's indifferent on Tessa, but people are up in arms on certain Facebook groups. Well, yeah, And then Revamp says, I love that people are angry about Tessa. They need to get over something that has nothing to do with a bunch of marks. Agree, right? Aaron says, from my experience, people who are angry at someone usually did what she did in the past. They're trying to clean their. I think you mean cleans their conscience. Yeah, bad publicity is good publicity. So, I mean, yeah, we're seeing this, right? TNA is being talked about, is being discussed. It's being people are going, oh my God, I can't believe it, or hey, this is great. No matter what. They're being talked about. That's the whole point, right? You want people to talk about your wrestling company, and they're doing it. And now people are going to be like, I want to tune in to see what Tessa Blanchard does. I want to see what it is. Again, I have only seen clips. I just know that Tessa Blanchard attacked Jordynne Grace. I don't know the whole context of everything because, again, I don't watch Impact Wrestling. Guess what I am going to be doing on Monday? I'm going to be watching the Impact review show here on Hami Media Group because, I got to know. That fun stuff. Now, I did hear, too, that a fan got ejected at the show, but that's I don't know the whole story behind it. So, anyway, yeah, and this was the Center Stage show, right? TNA was at Center Stage in Atlanta, and that was going on. And there's just a rumor. I don't know the whole story. Apparently, here's what it was. During the World Tag Team tables match, Eddie Edwards was jawing with a fan at ringside. Then Edwards slapped the fan, and the fan. I guess the fan interacted with Eddie, and then Edwards slapped the fan back as security was quick to eject the fan from the venue. And so, so I don't know if it was a plan or not. I'm watching the clip right now because Eddie, I guess, Eddie knocked something out of the fan's hand, and then Eddie was like jawing with him, gets in his face a little bit, and the guy like a little slaps him a little bit in the face, but it was just the referees who eject the guy, and I don't see what happens after this. So I didn't see anything on that, but like, let's be honest. That's another good way to get people to talk about your wrestling. So see, that's what I thought. Like, having just watched it, I think he was a plant as well. Because, like, if it was real, security would have been on that a lot faster. It would have been like people need to grab him, right? And like, yeah, he looked like he could have beat Eddie. He was a pretty big boy. And like Gruss and Revamp say some interesting things. Hulk Hogan's still around, and Revamp says it's okay when guys say racist things like Hogan, Batista, oh my. So yeah, Gruss says, yeah, that was a plant. And Revamp says, I think they might have taken him to the back to talk about it, give him a shirt, and tell him to get out. Okay. He said there was security. Some big guys from the back came out. Okay, cool. Because I just saw a clip, and then Eddie gets to the camera. Probably so, because yeah, they said the camera focused on Eddie. He did get into the camera, so he says, now we're having fun. So like, God, this is where wrestling is so fun sometimes, because it's like, okay, was this a plant? Was this real? Like, whatever. Like, if you're a fan, I don't care that he knocked something out of your hand. Never touch talent. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, the only time is if knocking something out of your hands doesn't warrant you putting your hands on a person. Right? Now, if that person puts their hands on you first, weapons free. Like, if Eddie would have knocked the thing out of the guy's hands, the guy said something and Eddie smacked him first, then yeah, I would say guy has free reign to go hands free on him. Yeah, it's assault. Like, well, I mean, Revamp, let's be honest. If you knock something intentionally out of someone's hands, that could be considered assault as well. So the guy could justifiably say, because it is on camera, hey, he knocked stuff out of my hands and then got into my face and being threatened. So I was protecting myself. Now, Eddie was turning away when he did it. It's not really protecting yourself as the guy's turning away, and you love tap him in the face, and then he turns around and smacks you. Yeah, spitting at someone's assault too. And here comes Scott. Just got confirmed from my source. He is plant, and he is a wrestler in training with Eddie. Awesome. Like, look, like, there have been times where, like, I know guys, like, when they come through town, that they are plants and they're extras for WWE when, like, someone comes through the ring or whatever. This was well done, though. This was well done. Let you join the roster next week. But look, again, like, when Lance Archer grabbed the fan and threw him over the railing, that was my buddy Jay, who was a wrestler here known as Mr. Wobble. You can find Mr. Wobble on the internets and all that fun stuff. His name's Jay Strong, Mr. Wobble. And he does that sometimes. He was an extra for Braun Strowman, like one of the Rosebuds. Like, that's his thing, him and Barrett Brown. If you look at Barrett Brown, same thing. Their plants. Barrett Brown has been put through tables at the Hall of Fame. He was beaten up backstage quite a few times in WWE. So obviously now, Scott, I trust you and your source. So this is a plant, we're gonna say. Because God, I'm a good journalist. I'm not gonna make you reveal your source because that's not what journalists do. But yeah, like I've known people who've done this, but like obviously bringing a fan over the railing, we know that's a plant, right? But this is different. This is different. This was done in such a way to make you feel like it was real. It was very well crafted. So TNA has done two things now, right? They brought back Tessa Blanchard and they've made it look like a fan got ejected, got handsy with Eddie. Very well done. And now you're talking about them. Like, will we talk about them for the next week or two? Probably not. Like Tessa is going to be a thing that we'll talk about for a little bit in this incident, but like it'll be over and done in under a week. But hey, we're talking about it this morning. It's a thing, right? It's what's going on. So look, they got me good. You got to give wrestling companies their props. Revamp, good call on that. You got to give wrestling companies their props when they do something well like that. TNA needs shaming, man. Look, revamped. I agree with you. Well done. But TNA doesn't need Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon can do whatever he wants. I mean, he could be in AEW. He could do all these things. So tonight is Saturday night's main event. How are we feeling about that? I think it's interesting. I don't want to say I'm excited for it. I find it interesting. I really like the retro advertisements they've had for it. I think it's interesting that they're going with a kind of like it's that whole Clash of the Champions. We're gonna put on a pay-per-view level event ish, but on free TV. Gruss, you crazy? Cody Rhodes will lose that title tonight. Bro, are you smoking dope or something? No, this is going to be the first part of a Cody Rhodes story that they're going to, a Kevin Owens story they're going to do. There's no way he's losing that title tonight on free TV. Like, I don't bet, and I would get on like one of the gambling sites and place that bet. No way. Opium is a hell of a prefam says. Yeah, no, but like I think this is neat. The fact that we're gonna have Jesse Ventura on the air, I like this retro callback. I think it'll be fun, and I think it's nice to have something like this for WWE. So I think that's going to be a good thing. But here's the thing. Also, it kind of is the unofficial start to the road to WrestleMania. Hey, Cold-Blooded, says, if Owens doesn't win, he's in danger of being seen as a main event jobber, just like Kane. So, Kane was in the business for over 20 years. Kane, the Big Red Machine, has the Big Gay Machine, cocaine, all these parodies, the Blue Cane, all this kind of stuff, the Big Blue Machine, stuff like that, right? Like, well, what's wrong with that? And he's made a shit ton of money. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, and if that's what he wants to be, so be it. I don't think that's as long as Kevin Owens is entertaining, I don't think that matters. I mean, I don't care. I mean, I don't know. You need valid people who maybe or maybe not, do that. And wins and losses matter in wrestling now. You're right, Revamp. I know. And then, okay, he says Cody Rhodes won the title back on January 6th. Well, I don't know. Technically, it's a SmackDown thing, though, right? Cody's a SmackDown thing. So, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of different booking things that you can do. Gruss says Randy Orton will return on January 6th to help Cody take the title back. Again, we already have a title for Raw, so I don't see them putting this title on Raw because this is the SmackDown Championship. Like, I like where your head's at, Gruss, if we had one title, but we don't. This is the SmackDown title. So who knows? Who knows? But it's interesting to say the least. So I think now that we have the unofficial start to WrestleMania season, I think it's important to see that we already know that two people will not be involved with WrestleMania. We found that out this week. We found out that Logan Paul supposedly has retired from wrestling. He said that on his podcast. I think that was this week. So, I mean, I know it was kind of like offhanded that he said it because he was on his podcast and that he's a father now. So I don't know. Yes, and I do like the Wing Eagles back, by the way. I didn't miss your reference there earlier. I'm just sometimes I get focused on wanting to talk about a certain thing. So but I don't disagree. It could be a work. Yeah, like Logan Paul. I mean, and whether he retired or WWE asked if he would not come back, I could see that being a thing. So, whatever. Is it a work? Will we see him back again? I don't know. The question really becomes, what did he bring? Did he bring, other than like Prime being the official drink of WWE and all that fun stuff of the hydration for hydration, while C4 is the ultimate pre-workout for WWE. Did he bring people? Did he bring people to the shows? I mean, he was on a limited run. He was that attraction talent. He wasn't a champion per se. But did the numbers show that he brought people in? That's my question. And if there's enough controversy around him, no. Would that be the case? And that the fact, the thing that we also have to go, scheduled, yeah, but and I know this is offhand, it was on his podcast, and there's nothing's been done on WWE as far as their rosters or anything like that. So could this be just one of those things where it's part of the storyline they're telling off the camera and it keeps him relevant, and now we're talking about it again, kind of thing, kind of like we talked about with TNA. So, but what we do know for sure that will not be involved with WWE WrestleMania 41, Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed is out. He had surgery. I think on his ankles. So I do know that I can't remember if it was one or both of his ankles. It was from the Tsunami Smash on Roman Reigns. His foot and ankle injuries were done. So, but it was December 11th that he had surgery in Birmingham, Alabama at the Andrews Sports and Medicine Center, supposedly. And he's going to be out well into next year, and so he will be missing WrestleMania 41. So the real question is, he destroyed his ankles. You know, and so here's my question: which one is the bigger thing not to be at WrestleMania 41? Logan Paul, if that's the case, or Bronson Reed? You know, who do you feel is the bigger loss to WrestleMania 41? You know, yeah. Gruss said Reed will have to learn to walk again. Yeah, because apparently his foot and his ankle were just shattered. Yeah, and Reed still hasn't had a WrestleMania yet either. So I think this losing Bronson Reed is a big loss. Look, Logan Paul is a bigger name, but he's still there in the sense of he's got prime and everything along those lines. Reed deserves it. And I think it's a bigger loss because there was a story being told, and now that story isn't being told anymore. He's out of the Bloodline storyline. He's out of the Seth Rollins storyline. I think the bigger loss is Bronson Reed, because we were building something that was going to take something bigger and lead to WrestleMania. I really think that, you know, with the Survivor Series and the War Game stuff happening. And I think my heart and my mind both say Bronson Reed is a bigger loss, you know, because, I mean, worst case scenario, Logan Paul could be an ambassador and, you know, could be a host of WrestleMania, and, you know, Prime is all over the place and all that stuff. Cold Blooded says Tongaloa. But yeah, like I think Bronson Reed is the bigger loss because there's more story being told. You know, so that's just my thought. Because I don't think. I mean, and you could do Logan Paul getting his ass kicked, because it's not like he's saying I'm not going to ever wrestle again. He can still get in the ring. He can still take bumps. He can still get his ass kicked, right? So, you know, I feel like Bronson Reed overall, from the lead up to WrestleMania, is the bigger loss. You know, and some people measure that by money. I don't. I'm not that person. I want to be entertained. I want story. And I just feel like Bronson Reed was parts of something bigger than Logan Paul has been. So that's just my thought, you know. But I think, you know, some say he's garbage, some say whatever. I don't know. I don't know. So one other thing. If we're going to talk retirement, how about we talk about the retirement that caused people to go, what? And then it's like, oh, okay. Yes, thoughts and prayers and a quick and strong recovery to Bronson Reed. I'm glad the surgery apparently was successful. So I hope the road to rehab is good to Bronson Reed. Tony Storm is back, but is no longer timeless. We're back to Tony Storm, like just Tony Storm. How do you guys feel about like Tony Storm quitting wrestling or retiring from wrestling, but coming back as not timeless Tony Storm, but just as Tony Storm? Like, oh yes, and prayers to Chris Bay. Whew, yeah, but that was a nasty injury as well. How do we feel about that? How do we feel about Tony Storm, quote unquote, retiring, and, you know, coming back in her kind of rock star performer? Although she did do the kind of timeless pose and then going to the rock star thing. Thoughts? Yeah, Gross said, I called that Tony Storm moment months ago. I don't disagree. I think most of us figured she was young, that she wasn't really quitting or retiring. So, is it Tony, though? Is it Tony revamped, or is it Tony Storm, not Tony Khan? was Tony Storm tired of the character? Even though I agree with you, Gruss, the Timeless character had more room to grow. I don't disagree with you, but maybe it was Tony. Maybe she was tired of being that character. Look, who knows at this point? Because we do know the inmates run the asylum and AEW. Cold Blooded says AEW couldn't stand the fact that they had something original that was unique to their product. Kyle wants to be as plain and predictable as possible. Maybe. And I will agree with you, Revamped, on this. They made zero money with Timeless, and they didn't capitalize on it at all. Yeah. And maybe that's why Tony stopped it. Because they weren't doing anything with it. They weren't making money with it. They weren't, investing in it as they should have. And Revamp says some people think they got sued or something because her character, and they nixed the gimmick. I don't know why that would be the case, if I'm 100% honest. But no matter what, it's one of those things where we won't know. We don't really know for sure. It's one of those things where it'll be a mystery. We don't know the whole character, the whole behind the stage thing. And look, AEW is a mess right now. I mean, we've got Ray Phoenix, like coming out and saying all these things. Tony Khan releasing a statement saying that I didn't understand your, translation. Blah 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 blah. What was it? How does it? What is it? What is it? What did it say? Let me read it here for a second. I'm pulling it up right now. Statement from Tony Khan, AEW CEO. I want to address the recent claims made by Ray Phoenix regarding the medical care and treatment he has received in AEW. I want to sincerely apologize to Ray for any misunderstandings or issues he has faced. The reality is that Ray does not speak English fluently, which made it very challenging for us to properly communicate and understand his needs at times. For example, when Ray suffered an injury last year, I thought he was trying to tell me he was hungry. So I sent him to get something to eat at a nearby restaurant instead of getting him immediate medical attention. I feel terrible about that situation. I take full responsibility. We are committed to providing the best possible care for all of our wrestlers, but the language barrier with Ray has made that more difficult. We are working to improve our communication and translation services to ensure this doesn't happen again. At the end of the day, fault lies with me and our organization for not being able to properly understand and address Ray's needs. I want Ray to know that his health and well-being are our top priorities. We will redouble our efforts to ensure he receives the world-class medical care and support he deserves. I'm hopeful we can move forward in the spirit of mutual understanding and work together to create the best possible environment for our AEW roster. Tony Khan, CEO of All Elite Wrestling. And I don't think this is real. I don't know if it is real. I mean, there's no way, right? There's no way that Tony Khan would release something like this, right? So, because I think it's just showed up on Reddit and it showed up on, things like that. So, I don't know. This is just such a, well, yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it sounds fake. That's why I'm like, it's going around the internet that this is real or not real or whatever. But like, I don't know. Like, it's just a mess. We have Ray Phoenix saying all these things about what happens backstage behind AEW. We have other people saying what happens backstage behind AEW. It's such a mess. it's such a mess. Like, I don't, and the fact that there's no accountability, right? There's zero accountability back there. Um, you know, right. And you don't know unless you're there. The only thing I know that are there are from what people tell me. And I hear varying things. I've heard from people say that TK is so paranoid about stuff leaking that he doesn't tell people about what's happening until a week or two before it needs to happen. So that there's nobody knows the long-term planning of what happens because he doesn't want leaks, and that he'll fly people out just to keep them there so that they can be on the roster, so that they can be available, but doesn't really need them because he doesn't know what he's doing, and he will forget the direction of things. Like, these are things I'm hearing from professional wrestlers who are backstage talking about the events and things that go on there. Like, I'm telling you these things from people who are there and doing these things sometimes. This is not something, that I just, I read it from a guy on Reddit or Facebook or whatever. I mean, obviously, Tony Khan is smart enough not to release a statement like that because he's basically taking the blame for being an idiot and saying we don't have translation services or things. I don't think he's that stupid. Look, I don't disagree with you, but when there are multiple people who say the same thing or something similar revamped, it's hard to not believe it. Like, again, this is not just one person saying it. This is a theme throughout people who have worked there, who I've had conversations with. Again, not taking names or sources or anything because that's not the conversations were just in the context of just being bros and talking and or being gals. So that's not for me to share names or whatever. I'm just saying there's been a consistent theme of disorganization and paranoia behind the scenes at AEW. I don't know. It's a mess. And like, the sad part is the fact that something like that, which most likely is fake, could be released and people could believe it, says a lot about AEW and their situation right now. I know. Whereas you've got WWE, who can bring back Saturday Night's Main Event, and people are like, oh, hey, cool. And you float things out and deal with things, and people are like, oh, yeah, maybe. But like, they would understand when things are ridiculous and don't. AEW is such turmoil and chaos that you do that. Like, I don't know. And I guess part of me is always is bitter at AEW because, again, last night you had a tag match of Lance and Takeshita versus Mark Davis and Powerhouse Hobbs, and Lance takes the L. So I don't know. Believe of half of what you hear and all what you see. Yeah, true. But if that's the case, tell me what you think about what do you believe about AEW, Gruss, then. So I don't know. So who knows? I don't know. I don't know. It gets me so. Ugh. So, I don't know. So it is what it is. I mean, it's not. I guess the frustrating part is there's nothing new. It's all the same. It's things that we've heard. Right, Zane. Go get him, Zane. Go get him. So, it's more of the same. There's nothing that has changed, even though people have said things and done things and asked for things. It's not what you know. It's at the point now where I think we we've become of this is what it is, and there's nothing that's going to change it. And that's the sad part is we can see what could be good, we could see what could be right about this, but we're not seeing it because it's just continually being um, mismanaged and not done well. It's just not done well. It's sad. I don't want to pull the plug on it though. Um, because I like that people have places to go for wrestling. I just want it to be better. I want it to be better. You know, um, maybe like Khan needs to do the NFL approach and stop being Jerry Jones and start being like his dad. And he's the owner of TNA, or sorry, not the owner of TNA. He's the owner of AEW, but there's a person who runs AEW. He's the money, and the person runs and does the booking and all those kind of things and handles it. Doesn't and be's that NFL owner. I think that's the better bet. Let someone run Ring of Honor. Let someone run AEW, and you're the owner, and you provide the money, and let the people who know what they're doing do it. Like Tony Khan has proven that fans don't know what they're doing when it comes to wrestling. I love that Tony Khan is a lifelong wrestling fan. Great. Awesome. Tony Khan is proving that fans shouldn't run wrestling companies. Yeah. Sure, Zane. I would let you run. I would give you Ring of Honor, Zane. Run Ring of Honor, run it into the ground. Or whatever. But I think that's the thing. People are like, oh, wow, Tony Khan's a real fan. That's great. That's wonderful. And all that. But, yeah, he needs to be a Ted Turner, Gruss. I agree. Be a Ted Turner. Be his dad in the NFL structure. Let somebody else run things. You be the money. You make sure things are going the way it goes to. Handle the business aspect of things. Make sure you're getting your TV deals. Make sure you're getting your advertising deals. Go to do the business parts. Other than that, let someone who knows wrestling do wrestling. Have that Eric Bischoff, whoever that is. Do it. Do it. Which it was interesting to see him on TV last week for NXT and then to do the show for MLW. I like Eric Bischoff. I like his podcast. I think he's great. I think he has some great points. I think he talks a good game, and I like the way he views things. And he'll shit on anybody, but with the intention of he doesn't want anything to close. He wants things to be better, right? So, and the fact that Tony doesn't listen to him because he's legitimately the only person who went up against Vince McMahon and was somewhat successful. Yeah. But yeah, I agree with you, Russ. Finding a Bischoff is hard. It's hard. That Jim Herd. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Well, I guess it's that time. I have no other news or things to talk about. Those are the big things that kind of popped up this week that I was like, oh, I need to talk about those in case Jimmy's not here. We need to talk about that. So, I guess it's time to talk SmackDown. Because I've exhausted everything that I could talk about. So let's talk SmackDown. Okay, cool. Let's see. It says live viewers right now. I have 2 on Hummy Media Group and 1 on mine. Hey, if you're on my Twitch, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Say hi if you want. I'll give you a shout out. and it says there's one on me. All of a sudden, we went from like a whole bunch to one. I don't know. We'll have a great talk when Cody loses that title tonight. No, we won't. It won't happen. Won't happen. All right, let's do it. Let's talk SmackDown from last night. Last night, SmackDown was December 13th of 2024, Friday the 13th. Oh no. The Christmas Friday the 13th. The images of Jason in a Santa hat throughout were all over the internet and on my feed. It was quite hilarious. They were at the XL Center in Hartford, Connecticut. On commentary were Michael Cole and Corey Graves. Because tonight's Saturday night's main event, and this is the go home show for that. SmackDown kicks off with Tiffany Stratton and Misha entering the arena, and we cut to Bayley signing autographs and Chelsea Green entering the arena with Piper Niven. This entering the arena thing, I've found interesting. It gives it that like pre-fight, like when you go to boxing and you have that pre-fight entrances, people are coming in and you're or the NFL films early morning. We got this going on, like here they come to the arena. I kind of dig it. It's interesting. It's not like, oh my God, this is amazing, but like, all right, I can appreciate it. We also have Solo, Jacob, and Tonga enter, and then so does LA Knight, and we see Cody Rhodes leaving his tour bus and entering the arena. So cool. And then we have Jimmy Uso comes out, and he's leaning on a crutch, and the fans start chanting "Yeet," and he tells them "Wrongs win," and then he laughs. And then War Games is lit, and you can throw up your ones. And he basically is coming out, recapping everything that happened. He says he's proud of his little brother, Solo Sikoa, and the fans boo. But he emphasizes little brother like throughout this conversation, that he's his little brother. And he's like, "What's next for Big Jim?" He doesn't know, but he wants everyone to ride with Big Jim. Him calling him Big Jim was so corny and hokey. Like, I was having a hard time not laughing at it. I really was. And he says, "This is the year of Big Jim, and no one's going to stop him from doing what he likes. There's no Roman, no Ray, no CM. He showed up with one big toe, and New Year's coming for him." And he drops the microphone, and Drew McIntyre hits him with Claymore. So and then he starts beating up Jimmy, and Nick Aldis and the officials come out, and Drew laughs, and he looks at Jimmy and he leaves the ring. Yeah, no one's gonna stop Big Jim except Drew McIntyre with a Claymore to the face. That stopped you real quick. So oh dude, revamped. Big Jim versus Little Jimmy at WrestleMania 41. Book it, pal. Cold-blooded Toe Jam Jim. Yeah. So, holiday plans. I'm working the Monday before Christmas. Since Zane wants to know. So I worked that Monday, Tuesday, which is Christmas Eve. My son and I are going to my girlfriend's house, and she's making soup dumplings. She's making a ramen. She's making some beef bulgogi. We're having kind of an Asian themed Christmas Eve dinner, and then Jacob and I are getting up in the morning, and we're doing kind of a Christmas kind of thing with us, and then we're going to go over to my parents, and we're going to bring his girlfriend. And then we're going to be there Christmas. We'll do Christmas evening. We'll stay the next day, and then we'll come back the next day. So we'll come back that Saturday. So, or Friday, something like that. So that's kind of our Christmas plans. Real chill, and then I'm just going to be staying the holidays here. I have to meet with my financial advisor at the beginning of the year. I'm off that whole time after that Monday. for work. So I'll just be hanging with my girlfriend and her kid and Jacob, and we're going to be doing stuff. So, she lives out in the country, so maybe we'll do fireworks. We'll see. But she's got horses and dogs and stuff like that, so probably we won't do that. But who knows? We'll do something fun. We'll have a good time. Yeah. No ski trip for me, Zane. I haven't been on a ski trip for a while. My mom and dad, I don't think they're doing it this year. It used to be a thing. I haven't done it in a very long time because for a long time I didn't we got for work we got the week between Christmas and New Year off, and then my parents would go skiing after, and I wouldn't feel right going on vacation after having been off for a week already. So Martin Luther King Day, I am chilling. I'm chilling. Lamb for Christmas dinner, nice. So anyway, back to it. Anyway, interesting opening segment. Drew McIntyre, I believe Revamp said earlier, he has his hit list of people he's taking out who have wronged him, which is understandable. I mean, let's be honest. We would all probably do something like that. We would definitely all do something like that if we had somebody going. So, let's see. After that segment, we had Tiffany Stratton, Nia Jackson, Candice LeRae backstage. And that Nia says she has faith in her and that she's all about Tiffany's legacy. She doesn't need us. You cheap tacking, and she wishes Tiffany luck and walks away. And Tiffany gets ready. So Nia basically saying, we're not going to be there for you. Great job. So, and then we see Drew backstage with Nick Aldis, and Aldis says he can't be doing stuff like this. And he turns around, and in comes Bianca Belair and Naomi. Bianca asks if it's a good time to talk. Nick turns to Drew and tells him to go get in his office. Drew leaves, and Nick tells Bianca that the investigation is still ongoing. He tells Bianca that he doesn't see any other option other than having to relinquish the tag titles. Bianca tells him no, and Naomi tells Nick that if Bianca needs a tag team partner, she can step up to the plate. Bianca agrees that she has been done before, and Naomi has always had her back. Nick says he will run up the management, but if they do it, they will have to be ready to defend their titles as early as next week. Bianca and Naomi tell him they're ready, and Nick Aldis enters his office. So, dun, 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 we have all these backstage things going, and Nick Aldis is having to put on his Sherlock Holmes cap to see who's attacking people backstage. What are we going to do? Who is attacking these people? Who attacked Jade? Who is attacking everyone else behind stages? We don't know. It could be Dr. Watson. It could be anyone. We need to narrow down this list. Who would benefit from it? I don't know. Good man. So, Nick Aldis is doing his best Sherlock Holmes to figure out what's going on, but we see that Drew McIntyre is in trouble. He's in the principal's office of Nick Aldis, and Bianca and Naomi are they're going to be the tag teamers. I tried. I wasn't really trying. I was just being real silly at that point. Naomi and Jade are turning heel on Belair. Maybe Belair. There's been that more of a heelish flair to Belair, and maybe it was Belair the whole time, getting tired of Jade and her lack of professionalism and having to carry the team. Well, thank you. That was the goal. I was more trying to make you laugh. Who knows? It'll be interesting to see, to say the least. But to have all these, because I think later on we're going to see more investigations of who's attacking someone backstage. Oh no, kind of thing. So, Nick Aldis is having to be Sherlock Holmes here, investigating this and investigating something else. So after that, we have the Women's United States Championship match of Tiffany Stratton versus Michin. And, this is our first match. We're what? It was a good, 25, almost 15, 20, 25 minutes in before we had our first match, which is the Women's United States Championship match, the tournament, to see who will go to the finals. And we have Tiffany Stratton versus Michin. This was fine. I didn't like the ending. It was a little sloppy. And the fact that Michael Cole had to cover for it, where Tiffany Stratton goes up for the prettiest moonsault and Michin doesn't quite get out of the way fast enough. And so it looks like she hits it, but doesn't, and then turns around and does eat defeat and gets the win. It was fine. I felt like these two struggled chemistry-wise a little bit. Zane, good point. Think about it. Naomi never lost the tag belts. She walked out with that Mark Mercedes. True. Maybe this is a way for her to get the tag belts back. She's the one who attacked Jade because she deserved the tag belts because she never lost them. Zane. Big Brain Zane. Thanks for that reminder. I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that. So, Big Brain Zane. So, it's a good call, dude. Good call. So yeah, this match was okay. I felt like they struggled a little bit. It wasn't super great. Their chemistry was off. Their timing felt a little off, but it was fine. After the win, we have a pre-recorded video of DIY talking about winning the tag team championships. When Tommaso Ciampa is the biggest person in your match, that's a problem. Right? I mean, I'm sorry. Is it me? Hi, is it me? I'm the problem. It's me. And we go to a commercial break, but is it just me? Zane, prettiest moon. Oh no, Grueless, prettiest moonsault, PMS. This tag division. What are we doing? We have DIY thinking that we're going to break them up and, all the strife and everything. We got the Motor City Machine Guns who are 10 years past their prime and look tiny AF. And we're trying to justify them as champions. Midget City Machine Guns agree. It's just, no, we're not doing this. No. We had the Street Profits. We could have gotten it off of them. I don't blame you. Look, I think he's a nice person. I don't like him as a wrestler. I said it. So after this DIY video, which I don't think anybody cares about, we have a commercial break and we come back to the video package of Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman talking about how it was a long year and in the spring and the summer it all fell apart. He lost his title, he lost his wise man, he lost the bloodline, and then the entire bloodline. He lost his Ula Fala. That's the most important thing. He says, Solo, 4 years ago, you weren't there. You didn't take the Ula Fala. He earned it from his uncle and his father. They crowned him with that responsibility because he was the one to lead the family. And all that matters to him is his family, his Ula Fala, and the responsibility that he has. January 6th means Netflix, but for him, he challenges Solo to a match. He will take back his bloodline. He will take back his Ula Fala. He will take back his respect. And once he has that respect, the whole world will have to acknowledge him. So I like this video package. It was good. It it's telling a good story. Again, the Bloodline story, it has these moments where you're like, where the hell are they going? And they bring it back. And so really well done. I like the video package. So I don't know. I liked it personally. I thought, it was good. It was that Roman that we were used to. And then after this, we cut backstage between Legado de Fantasma with Nick Aldis. Santos Escobar tells Nick Aldis people are getting hurt every week. He asks him what kind of a bingo he is running, and maybe they are better off with Adam Pearce. Pearce tells Angel to call Adam Pearce, and they Aldis tells wait. Escobar tells Angel to call Adam Pearce, and they walk away. In comes Carmelo Hayes, and he tells Nick Aldis that he will make light work of his mystery opponent. And then we have a commercial break, and Hayes is in the ring, and out comes his opponent, which is Braun Strowman. Poor Carmelo Hayes. So, this match was comical. It was a squash match. It was a squash match. I don't know why I say squash. Well, because Braun Strowman is a Sasquatch kind of. So, kind of a squash match. I mean, it was interesting because we did have Strowman. I don't know, like, gave him a little bit more offense than I thought. Because Carmelo hits. I mean, it wasn't a long match. So here's the highlights. He runs off the ropes and goes for a crossbody off the second rope, hits Strowman, and Hayes falls to the mat. Hayes gets back up, and Strowman goes for a running power slam, but Hayes lands on his feet. Strowman goes for a spear in the corner, but Hayes moves, and Strowman hits the turnbuckle. Hayes with an elbow to the back of the head. He goes for the cover, but Strowman kicks out. Hayes climbs to the top rope and goes for a crossbody, but Strowman catches him and hits him with a running power slam. He goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. That was the match. Cool. Still, like, yeah. I don't know. He's supposed to be a big monster man. And I guess, but we made him vulnerable because he went for a spear. Carmelo moved. He hits him with an elbow. He falls to the ground, gets up. 1, 2, 3. Right? Okay. Like, are we trying to do Carmelo a favor here? Like, hey, you're not getting completely squashed like a jobber, but you're getting squashed. I don't know. Whatever. It was there. After the match, though, Byron Saxton is backstage with LA Knight, and Byron asks him how concerned he is with Solo. LA Knight says the one thing he has done his entire career is to make sure that he handles business, and he does it his way. He's asked if he was asked to be involved in War Games, and he said no because it wasn't his business. He doesn't care about the Ula Folly. He's worried about gold. He tells Byron that the entire Bloodline family can go to hell, and with the only one he gets about is Jey Uso. LA Knight says he let Solo's red necklace get in the way of a gold belt, and Solo will remember whose game it is. LA Knight, yeah. Cool. We come to a commercial break. Out comes Solo and the Bloodline for Solo's match. Solo grabs a microphone. Fan chants, "You suck." Solo doesn't acknowledge him. Solo's about to speak, and then LA Knight's music hits. So we have this match. This match was a 2-segment match. It was a pretty long one. Of course, it was a solid match. I feel like it was probably the best match that we had. I mean, 'cause I know we have the Bailey Chelsea match next. And that was, but it was probably the best one. But of course, it ends with disqualification because we have, Jacob Fatu getting involved and everybody else getting involved. And it ends in disqualification, which made it hard because it felt like it was a solid match. And I liked the story they were telling for the most part, but then you end it with this. But I understand this is what we're doing with the Bloodline, where we have LA Knight winning by disqualification because Jacob grabs LA Knight and he headbutts him and he throws him into the barricade and he runs and slams into LA Knight, and then Jacob and Tama throw LA Knight back to the ring. Solo grabs LA Knight and hits him with the Samoan Spike, and Tama Tonga and Jacob get in the ring, but outrun Andrade and Apollo Crews. Andrade with a flying clothesline on Jacob, and Solo hits Andrade with the Samoan Spike. Crews with the right hands onto Tama. He runs into the ropes, but Solo hits Crews with a Samoan Spike. And they stand there victorious with their fingers in the air, looking like they're giving Sky enemas. So, I don't know. We're showing that the Bloodline is still strong after their loss at Survivor Series. Cool. So, yeah, send Mello to Raw. So yeah, that's what I gotta say about that. So then we have a backstage segment where we see Braun Strowman walking. He's stopped by Pretty Deadly, and they have been trying to find a monster for months, and he's the perfect amount of hideous. They give him a transcript for their play, and he walks away for the Pretty Deadly the musical. In comes A-Town Down Under because Byron Saxon is trying to interview Braun, and they interrupt him and say, like, why are you talking to him? No, you should come on our show, The Grayson Waller Effect, next week. And he says, I'll see you next week. And they're excited because they've got Braun Strowman on, but I think we all know it's more likely that Braun Strowman's going to put them through tables, which no one's going to be mad about. So we go to commercial break. We come back. We have the Women's United States Championship match, Bayley versus Chelsea Green. Chelsea comes out. Piper's with her. But, again, solid match. It was, I still like the LA Knight match a little bit better, but this was a solid match. There were some good reversals. There were some good things that happened. Of course, the use of Piper in this was, I thought, well done, not overly interfering, but just well done. Like the ending sequence where Bayley climbs the top rope, but Piper drags Chelsea to the outside of the ring. So Bayley with an elbow onto Piper goes on the outside of the ring, but Chelsea throws Bayley over the barricade. Chelsea gets back in the ring, and as does Bayley. And so Chelsea then, when she does, goes with a kick followed by the Unprettier and gets the win for the 1-2-3. So good use of Piper where it wasn't like overly interfering, but distracted enough to justify Chelsea getting the win. So our final for the Women's United States Championship is going to be Michin versus Chelsea. So it was a struggle. It wasn't the best. It was, but I mean, we had worse matches tonight. I'm saying, how do we feel about Michin versus Chelsea? Do we feel like this is the way we want to go? Is this? I mean, this is the way we're going to have to go because this is what's happening. I don't know. Like, I don't know how I feel about. Oh, Zayn coming in hot. This is worse than the Shawn Triple H European title match, and he thinks this is trash. So Mishin versus Chelsea is trash. Okay, then who do we want to win? Okay, you answered my question right as I said. It's an easy win for old Laurel Van Ness, though. So Zane says Laurel Van Ness, Chelsea Green is going to win. Does anybody think Mishin's going to win? Is that, or are we all in agreement that this is probably Chelsea's title? So why even have the match? So I think this is Chelsea's title to win. I feel like this tournament was set up for Chelsea to win, and that this was her tournament to shine. And I think she's done that. Her name is Mia Yim. I agree. Revamped. Totally agree. Yeah, I think so. Her character work is finally being rewarded. I think she's been a good soldier. She's done the things she's needed to. And I think it's nice to have that belt on her. I think it would be good. I think that yeah, okay, cold-blooded. Cold-blooded says Mia Yim needs it more. As Ben would say, belts over people can't get over the character. I would agree, but this is technically a new belt. So I would put it on Chelsea to build this belt. Because a person with character and the belt makes a lot of sense. And then Zane says, and Tiffany will overshadow the whole thing by cashing in on Liv. Ivy Nile should be the women's champion. I don't think she's there yet. But I think this is a good way to build a title and give it prestige with someone who has character like Chelsea. And besides, having a heel hold it means the babyface chase, which everybody loves. Mia Yim deserves nothing. I kind of disagree. She did have her moments in Impact and TNA with the knockouts where she really was a big part of that. Which, oh, by the way, apparently last night was Rhino's last night for TNA. Apparently he had a match with Nick Nemeth, and that was his last night at TNA, and they've parted ways. So, just saying. I just saw that. I didn't know that was going to be a thing. So, because I got a notification on Facebook and I was looking and they said, "Oh, here we go." And then all the first 3 stories on Facebook are from food people. I'm already getting hungry. I haven't worked out yet. I haven't had breakfast. Well, I had some jerky. That was about it. Anyway. Yeah, Tiffany is with Kaiser in real life. If y'all didn't know that. They're dating. So he got to unwrap that present that she wore last night. Just saying. So she could be the U.S. champion, be champ with Nia Jax. Could be. Yeah, you could do that too. Gruss says I would move American Made to SmackDown to have Champ Gable and Ivy Nile as the U.S. champions. Could do that. Yep, Rhino's about to sign a legend deal. I bet, maybe so, maybe. So yeah, but interesting match. This is technically our main event because the rest of the stuff is talking. There's a lot of talking in the show. I get it. It's the go home show for tonight's Saturday night's main event. Chelsea wins. We have a video of the tag team Motor City Machine Guns and they're the champs. They did not expect Johnny Gargano to do what he did. They tell Johnny that the titles are important, but it's not about what it's all about. And next week, He will be the student, and they will be the teachers. Great. Cool. So apparently WWE is having midget wrestling. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I went to check the stuff, and then I came back, and it was saying, "Oh, gone." Hey, everybody good? We okay? Hey, Chris. Oh, Chris, sweet Chris. We did that at the beginning of the show. Sweet Chris. I was trying to remember now. All right. So what was the last thing I said? Revamped. What was the last thing I said? Um, what was yeah? What was the last thing y'all got before it kicked off? So I'm not repeating myself. That was weird. I've never had that happen before. That's super weird. Because I was going over the quote unquote main event where midget, oh wow, it cut all the way back off there. Midget wrestling. Yay, we're having midget wrestling. Okay, cool. Let me come back to this then. So we missed the fact that we had a video segment with Shinsuke. And he comes out and he's going to destroy everyone and make them irrelevant like LA Knight. He was just the first. I like this. I thought it was shot very interestingly, done very well. It was a different take on things. We'll see how it goes. Then we have the Mean Girl segment where Tiffany comes out looking as only she can look. Kaiser gets to undress that present later last night, I'm sure. And then we had that where Nia's like, it's okay. It happens. You didn't bring gold. And then Candace's like, yeah, but you and I have a match next week with Bianca. Cool. And like, we'll bring back the gold since you couldn't do it. And then Tiffany's like, oh, I'm so sad. I have my money in the bank. What should I do? And then we go to a commercial break. And then we have Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Michael Cole. And this whole cluster, because Michael Cole's in the ring and he introduces Cody, and out comes Cody. and he hugs Michael. And he grabs the microphone and he introduces Kevin Owens. Kevin doesn't come out, and Cody says Owens isn't here. He tells Cole to do the interview. Cole says he wants to talk about what's taken over on social media. He asks about the gift that Triple H gave him to use as Saturday Night's main event, which is the Winged Eagle belt. And then we hear Kevin Owens speaking from his car, and he says that's enough. He asks Cody how he can be okay using all of his friends. I did like this line. He tells Cody he was way more interesting as Stardust. Like he was a bad son brother, but he was way more interesting as Goldust. And then that's he's like, oh, he's got zingers. Well, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to go to him. And so he went and got him, and Cody's walking to the back, and Kevin hits him from behind. He sends him to the wall, and they fight to the entranceway, and they come out, and they both attack security. They fight in the ring. And then Cody gets a big boot to the face. Owen hits Cody with the undisputed championship belt, the big Winged Eagle, and throws it onto Cody and the security, and they stand in front of each other. Ooh, what an ending. Oh, my God. Oh, no. Yeah, he was wearing the Stardust shirt. It was funny. Look, we had video segment, in ring, end of show. I get it. It's the go home show. I know. Yeah. No. Like this doesn't do it for me. Doesn't do it for me, pal. Like, cool. Yay. They should have ended SmackDown with to be continued at Saturday night's main event, and like had something like that. Like, okay, cool, whatever. Cold-blooded says Cody will definitely win. I want Owens to win so badly. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of whatever with it. I'm whatever with it at this point. Like, I think it'll be a fun match. I think it was something we knew would eventually was going to happen when Kevin Owens got involved, because Kevin always plays that woe is me. I'm such, it's never my fault. I'm the victim. I can't believe people did that to me. Kind of thing. It's kind of predictable. Russ, thank God Rampage was the rage last night. Except Lance lost. They made Lance take the pin too. Like, what the fuck? It's bullshit. Tony Khan is bullshit. So, like, do you guys feel like this show made you want to watch tonight for Saturday night's main event and make you want to see this Kevin Owens Cody match on free TV tonight? Like, yeah. Yes, Rampage is still a thing. So what do you guys think? How do you... Well, okay, first, let's do our customary... Yeah, I know. Lance is a legacy loser. He's my friend still. Doesn't mean I like it. Which is awful for a 6'8", 275 guy to be used the way he has been. But still, he's making money, whatever. All right, let's give our grade. Let's give our customary letter grade to this show for SmackDown. It's for 12/13/2024 for Friday the 13th, 2024. Last night's SmackDown. What was your letter grade? What do you got? Cold-blooded said solid B. Did you see the tweet about NPCs in front of the hard cam on SmackDown? And sort of knowledge to the Harmony crew as well. I did not. I should. I'll go look. I'm not on Twitter a ton. Gruss, solid D. Cold Blooded says solid B. Anybody else? What is your letter grade for last night's show? So, anybody? Bueller? This is your time. This is your time. D from Revamped Wrestling. Crap show, 4 matches, nothing to talk about. Okay, then I agree. I agree. Like, all right. So Gruss, Revamped, you guys are in the same camp as me. I was giving this a D. Zane for C for college football about to come on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Brady retweeted the post. Look, I'll have to get on Twitter and look. I don't get on Twitter super much. I'm gonna make sure I'm following you. There it is. I'm not. How dare me? How dare me? I wasn't following you, sir. I am so sorry. That's why. That's why. So you know. I'm sorry for that revamp. I wasn't following you. So my fault. Yay, you followed me back. I appreciate it. So yeah, whatever. I'm just cool, but I'm just extra generous because it's the holidays. So I don't know. Yeah. Well, I say it every week, Revamp, that I'm on like right here. I say I finger myself, and you can find me on all the social medias of Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, and all that. So don't stick around to the end of the show. It's also Hartford, Connecticut, Revamped. I don't know how big of a wrestling town that is, and it's like people are probably doing their Christmas shopping and things like that. It's a busy weekend because I mean next weekend is the weekend before Christmas. Like Christmas, the eve of Christmas Eve is on a Monday, so that's I don't know. It is what it is. So I don't know. We'll see. SmackDown was a thing. It happened. Give me the department for him. So here's my question, though. Right, this is supposed to be a go-home show. Does this make you want to watch the Cody match? Or does it make you want to watch Saturday Night's main event? Who here is actually going to watch it? I'm right here with it. Like, part of me wants to. I'm a little bit intrigued. That's what I was wondering too. I thought it was live, cold-blooded. It could have been taped. It could have been taped as well. It could have been the second of a taping. I don't know. But because it would make sense that it would be taped because they were in Connecticut, and I felt like they had just been in Connecticut. And so let's see. Let's look it up. Was last night's SmackDown Okay. No. Last night's was live, but they taped the 12:20 episode last night after the first one. So after they have that, um, and so I have the answers for you, um, for last week's for the next week's show. So last night was live, and then they taped the 12:20 episode of SmackDown at the XL Center in Hartford for whatever. Um, so so that's that. Um, uh, so that was the case. So last night was, next week is tape. Um, so, but yeah. So I'm gonna watch Olsen. I think tonight I'm so. This did not make me want to watch anymore. I wasn't. Um, yeah, it's it's not like for me. I think it's more the novelty of it. Of, oh my god, I get to watch this again, which I watched in my childhood when I was a kid, and seeing how they do it, and hearing Joseph Ventura on WWE programming again, but not because of the matches. You know, um, that's not why I'm wanting to watch Saturday night's main event. I think it's more for the nostalgia, but nothing they did tonight, like even the Cody Kevin Owens thing, doesn't make me want to watch for those reasons. Um, I'm more interested in tonight just from the programming aspect and from the aspect of this is nostalgia. Um, hey, Lab Rat, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, a little late, pal, but we're good. Ooh, I missed that. I didn't know Saturday night's main event was going to be in San Antonio. I may have to do that, but I'll have to see because it depends on when in January. Because January 31st, VIP Wrestling is having what they're calling the Queen's Gambit. They're having their first ever women's title match. And they're bringing in a whole bunch of people, including my friend Lady Frost. So I will be going to that match and that show to support my friend. Ooh, 1225, 125.25. Because then the next weekend is wrestling here, and yeah. So I may be taking care of my friend Lady Frost and introducing her to my girlfriend and my girlfriend's kid who loves Lady Frost. So we'll see. Where Gruss in San Antonio? What venue? Because I don't feel like looking it up. Do you know? Oh, the Frost Center Bank. I've been there. That's where they do the Spurs games. So if you go there to the Frost Center Bank, there's the Freeman Auditorium and Coliseum. That's where Jacob and I were for our sci-fi convention. If you know anything about San Antonio, Russ. So that's cool. I mean, I don't know if I would go because it's a thing. Yeah, Frostbank. Yeah. So yeah, that's right there by the Freeman Auditorium and Center and thing where they do the rodeo and stuff. And we were in one of those buildings for the sci-fi conventions. Yeah, let's look at tickets, right? Let's say you want to sit front row. Well, you're not front row. You're second row, right? 1,840 to be on the aisle front row. And then 16 to be in that front middle section. What do the swirlies mean? I hate when you go on these ticket sites and they don't show you what the what the legend is for the tickets. Verified resale. Okay. So, yeah, interesting. So, no seats available for floor 1, no seats available for floor 2. I don't know where the hard cam is. They're showing the mix on the bottom half. Here, I'll just show you guys. That's what I'm doing. I'm at Ticketmaster. I found where the legend is. So these are all resales up here and here and here, these pink ones. And then the blue ones are available. So they're showing the mix being down here. So I wonder if that's like the hard cam situation. This is where the entrance will be coming in from this direction over here. So yeah. So there's a whole bunch of stuff here and here. So when you zoom in some, all right. So like if you want to be opposite the entrance, right? That's $1,640. No thanks, pal. Yeah. If I want to be further back, it's 204. And then right here, wait, what? How is this 204? And then right here is $799. What the hell? There's no way that's right. This is 204, right? I'm reading that right. It says 204. How are those 204? Is it like obstructed views or something like that? And then this is front row, so it's $799. Official platinum. Standard admission. I don't know what that means. Platinum. I guess you get in. Okay, important information. Tickets purchased for the first 5 rows of floor sections F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6, F7. Sit in commemorative Saturday night's main event chairs during the event and will be able to take one chair home at the event with a valid ticket for that seat at the conclusion of the event. Okay, cool. So, yeah, ticket prices. Ridiculous. Yeah, 204 is not that bad, but like it's I don't understand what I don't know. Yeah, I saw that too. Cold blooded that it looks like aisles are more expensive than middle seats. Yeah, and I don't know what that means. Why you're on a floor section? Maybe because you're not in the first 5 rows, so you don't get the commemorative seats, Russ. So you're paying for those commemorative seats. That's why they're $1,000, and then anything past that is just regular fare. But then you go up, and you're not on the floor, but you're paying $800. That's wild. Like the way seating works is wild. It must be because no, we're not gonna do that. I'm gonna pay my $50 to go to VIP and sit inside the ring and hang out with my friend Lady Frost and just have a good time. I'm gonna see Lady Frost, Jordan Grace, Holly Dead, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, they're gonna put on a good show to get this VIP wrestling. And this is why I love Lance. Okay, look. This is why I love Lance. We're gonna share screens here. Share screens. So this is why I love Lance. He said, myself and Lion Pride Sports TX would like to congratulate at Matrix Mommy on earning the full scholarship to train at Lion Pride Sports in Bryan, Texas. She surprised us all and now can chase her dream into pro wrestling. All the participants killed it. We hope they will continue to chase. He basically partnered with this wrestling school to and everybody competed to see. And so he's basically paying for a year scholarship for someone to train to learn how to wrestle. This is why Lance is my guy. Whether you knew him or not or whatever, this is why you should like Lance Archer. Lance Archer is a real one. He's a good dude. And this is why you should follow Lance and be them. But yeah, so we have for the Queen's Gambit to have the very first VIP women's wrestling champion. So they have Jasmine Allure. We have Kaya Dream. We have Killer Kate from WoW. I know Holodead is going to be there. Screw it. Let me go up to VIP Wrestling's page. I thought you could do it that way. So, I don't know who Kaya Dream is. Jasmine Allure. We have Killer Kate. Man. My shit's running slow. Holodead will be there. Lady Frost. Let's go. Maya World. The Tongan Twins will be there. Jordan Grace. So it'll be a good time. So anyway, I think I would rather do that. Besides, go support independent wrestling. Lance is a good dude. That's why he's a good man. Well, that's all I got. Unless you got something else you want to talk about, I've got nothing else to talk about. I have nothing. I have nothing for sale, as they say in History of the World Part 1. I have nothing. I have nothing for sale. I've got nothing else. So if you guys have anything, throw it out here right quick before we'll talk about it. If not, I will do our customary shout outs for being here, and I will end the show accordingly. Thank you all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being a part of the show. As always, you guys make this such a fun thing to do every week. I do enjoy it very, very much. So thank you for being here. I'm gonna go reverse today, and I'm gonna look at the top. It cut off some of the stuff that were here earlier. So if I miss you and you were here earlier, I apologize because my it cut off everything after. It only shows me things after 8:50. So Russ, thanks for being here. Revamp, thank you for being here. Zane, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Lots of Zane, lots of Gruss, lots of Zane. Cold-blooded, thanks for being here. I know you were here earlier. Chris Windland, thanks for popping in. If you needed to talk about Tessa Blanchard, go back and check it out earlier on the replay. Revamped was here. Zane was here. Lab Rat was here. Yay, Lab Rat. That's all I got. I know there's more people here. I see you. There's one person watching on my Twitch stream. Thank you for watching, whoever you are. And the 6 to 7 people who are watching on the Hummy Media Group, thank you for being here, as always. You guys are why we do the show. That's why we make the show. You guys are the reason. This is the show of the people, by the people, for the people. Yeah, Jimmy ate all the Greek food and put them on the toilet. It's Greek Christmas. It's that Greek Christmas present. As always, you can find us anywhere, all the time on Channel Attitude. $5 a month to get the best wrestling talk in the entire world, where you have the likes of Vince Russo, Ben Hameen, Stevie Richards, Big Vito, everybody. Go check it out. It's worth it. The Vet, Brandon, Matthew Schaefer, all those guys. Go listen, to the best. And of course, as always, you can find everything live on here on the YouTube channels as well for the Hami Media Group. You can find us on the Spotify's listening there, but you can also listen on the Hami Media Group YouTube channel, where tomorrow, I love you. Hey, Sonic, good for being here. Way to slide in here in the last minute. You're only a day away. Tomorrow, after the collision runs into Saturday night's main event, you'll have Jimmy T and the Vet who sift through the wreckage. So, if you want to hear all of that stuff, you can do that. You can tune in right here and listen live. And if you miss it live, there's ways you can find it by following Channel Attitude or different things and do so that way as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. As always, thank you for being here, being a part of the Humming Media Group YouTube channel, being a part. Hey, Blaze Nick. Yeah, when I'm here, we start at 8. Sorry, Nick. Good to see you, brother, though. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. It's baked Saturday, Blaze. Yeah. But thank you all for being here. You guys are the best. I really appreciate it. Y'all are the highlight to my week. I appreciate it very much. So make sure you're checking out Hami Media Group on Facebook. Make sure you're checking out here on the YouTube channels. Have that, what do they say? Like, to smash the like button, subscribe, and do the thingy where it notifies you that we're live or whatever. But yeah, you guys do. You really make my week. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of it. You guys are the reason why this is the show of the people, by the people, for the people. So thank you for being here, as always. And make sure you go check out Jimmy on social media. You check out me right here on social media. Even though revamped, I say this every time. Jay Reezy Min on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's time for some barbecue. Time to go hit the gym and then do stuff and chores around the house. That's what I got to do today. Barbecue comes later. But make sure you have a great week. I hope you have a great week. I hope you kick this week's ass and prepare to coast into to Christmas and the holiday break. And I hope you have a great holiday break, that everything goes well for you, and that you get everything you want from Santa Claus. And so with that said, sweep the leg. Make sure you sweep the leg of the person in front of you. Or that coworker. Sometimes it's just something that's needed. But until then, definitely, for sure, you make sure you of the week this week. Go kick its ass. Go be the person that you need to be and take care of everything. And if you need anything, take care of it. You got it. Know that. I believe in you. I think you're awesome. I hope you have a great week. And until next time.